Hey everybody, welcome back. I am God's humble messenger. Today I'm here to talk about how we as Christians must set a good example. This video is based off the message on my website titled Setting a Good Example as Christians. I will put a link in the description below. There are also other articles on my website you should check out with more on the way. You can find links to my social media accounts on my website. Alright, on to my message. I think this is a topic that goes without saying, but we do sometimes forget, at least I know I do, that eyes are upon us as Christians. We are looked at and judged differently than anyone else in this world. Is it fair? No. But that's just how it is. We are under immense scrutiny, especially now in our current time, with things getting worse and worse. There will always be someone trying to tear us down, to discredit us. When we step out in faith, we are put under a magnifying glass. Our every action is judged. This all started with Jesus. It's sad how evil ways and actions are being widely accepted more and more these days, being normalized, while Christianity is being demonized. It's no surprise, really. This is Satan's domain, after all. But this should not stop us from trying to set a good example. We should always be on guard, especially when we are around others. I will note that it is also important to keep your guard up and practice being a good example when you are alone too. Sure, no one can see you, but God can. It shows the Lord that you are serious and determined in holding to His values and practices. But we must also do this when we are around others, especially non-believers. And no, not just to avoid being attacked. Chances are they will attack you anyway, for no reason at all, no doubt provoked by the enemy. But we must set a good example, a house on a hill if you will, in order to show those with their eyes on us the change instilled in us by God. A change that they too could undergo if they turn it all over to Him. It may not happen overnight, but if these people are your friends or co-workers, people you are around regularly, they will notice the change in you, and sometimes it will cause them to change inadvertently. I'm going to turn to my own story for an example of this. My revival began just over 2 years ago. Before that, I lived a life of sin. I won't go into all the details, but I will mention that I frequently use foul language. I have made a conscious effort to change this. Well, unbeknownst to me, a friend of mine noticed this. One day we were talking, he cursed and then immediately apologized, telling me he noticed that I didn't use vulgar language anymore, so he tried not to, especially in front of me. Now, it could be argued that he just didn't want to curse in front of me and did so when I wasn't around. Or maybe he saw I wasn't doing it anymore and it had a positive influence on him. Whatever the case, he took notice of my actions, and I didn't even realize it. This is true of all Christians. People look to us, mostly as an example of our faith. And how we act can either bring people to God through Jesus or turn them away entirely. If you are testifying in church on Sunday, then turning around and using foul language and telling dirty jokes on Monday, people are going to notice. They will see you as a hypocrite, which will then make them see all Christians as hypocrites. This is not a fair judgment on all Christians based on the actions of one person, but unfortunately, that's how our society is. All it takes is for one person to have an unpleasant experience with or be mistreated by someone from a certain group of people, and they will label the entire group based on the actions of one person. That's why we, as Christians, must always be on guard and try to set the best example we can. You don't realize the difference it can make, big or small. On a small scale, it could stop someone from using foul language. On a much larger scale, it might be the difference in bringing a lost soul out of the darkness and into the light, or turning them away from the light completely and them being lost forever. Whether or not we realize it, whether or not we want it, as Christians, we are ambassadors of our faith. We are ambassadors for God. When people know we are Christians, they look at us differently and they watch us more closely. That is why it is so important to set a good example. And that's my message for today. I hope you found something useful in today's message, some encouragement, inspiration, or maybe just some comfort knowing that God is always working for your good. Please share this message with someone who needs to hear it. Also, if you have a story about how God touched your life or someone's life you know, email me. I would love to read it. With your permission, I might want to turn it into a video. If you would like to subscribe to my channel, that would be great and I would love that, but I want to mention that I don't do this for the views or the likes or to get as many subscribers as possible. I started this channel and make these videos to spread God's word, to spread hope, and to inspire, to allow Him to work through me with the hope that I can reach others. If I can get just one person to dedicate or rededicate their lives to the Lord, then I've done my job. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time. God bless.